Ms. Hepburn, it's wonderful to have the chance to meet with you after being a fan for many, many years, and my family as well. And I wanted to start by asking you, when I heard that you had taken on this position and gone yourself to Ethiopia, I tried to put myself in your place, and I thought that my first feeling would be that I would be afraid to go because of what I might see. And I wondered before you left if you did have feelings of fear, and when you left, when you went there, if you were afraid to go to begin with, and when you left, if you left with some kind of a feeling of hope and encouragement.
When you speak of fear, are you speaking about emotions or about the fear of the conflict up there, the war?
Oh, not about the war, just about what you would see in terms of...
No, none at all. I was so eager to go. I've been, so privileged to be given this opportunity to do something for children. And it actually was a great relief for me because I've sat in front of television so often and been frustrated or seen photographs or read articles about Ethiopia, and I've been so pent up with that feeling which most of us have, is you can't do anything. And the idea that now I can, however little, is a great relief, and I went very eagerly.
When you left, though, did you have a feeling of hopelessness and depression, or did you come back with a feeling of encouragement?
No. I tell you, it was an extraordinary trip and filled with very mixed emotions. Many of them, of course, were heartbreaking. But I've come back very encouraged, and I'm very optimistic, because basically it's a country that's too poor to help itself, but it needs very little to be able to help itself, because they're very hardworking, very eager to be independent, and then all they ask for really is help to help themselves.
You said in your address today in the news conference that you felt that if people were helped now as adults, that they would, or as children, that they would remember it all of their lives. And you sounded a little as if you were speaking from your past.
I am, and I think you can use Europe as an example. Everybody there in the last 45 years live in peace and help each other. And I think it is in the human spirit to argue, to quarrel, but it's also in the human spirit to remember a giving hand.
And was it, do you feel that it was as a result of what, the relief that you received when you were a teenager that perhaps led you to this involvement?
The result of that has been that I've known UNICEF all my life, and I've admired and trusted them all this time. And it's a marvelous happening for me that they're allowing me to do this.
Sometimes articles have been written about the fact that you live in sort of what they call seclusion, and I thought that this is the farthest from seclusion you could come, I guess. Was it difficult at all for you to step out of kind of living alone and away from the public eye to do this?
Well, I don't live in seclusion. I live in the country, which lots of people do, and lots of people like, either weekends or on a permanent basis. It was always my dream as a child and all through my working years was to have a house of my own and a garden, and I love it, and I've had that house for many years now. And I had looked forward to a period, finally, after all the traveling that I've done since I was a child, I've sort of led a circus life, to one day be able to retire there and take care of my garden and the dogs and everything I love. That's my idea of heaven. But I'm moving around the world once again, but I'm happy to do it because for children, I'd go to the moon.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people will be interested to see you because they haven't seen you in a long time, except for last year when you did the film with Robert Wagner. Do you think that you will consider doing another film project in the future, or are you sort of staying away from?
No, I'm not staying away from anything. As I said, I would love to continue my life as it is now. But I could easily be tempted by a lovely part. It doesn't have to be a big one, but if there was something that really tempts me, I'd be happy to do it.
That's what I wondered, is what would tempt you? Is it script?
I couldn't
is it
tell you.
Co-stars?
No, it's a script, the part, something I feel I could do well.
What was the reaction when you came back with Love Among Thieves from fans?
I don't know. I got some very nice letters and so forth. It's much harder to get reaction from television than it is, for instance, in the theater. You hear the audience react and so forth. and even movies, so that there are more critics and so forth. But I believe that the ratings and the reaction was quite good.
Just this morning, I was taking a look at a tape of a film, My Fair Lady, and it was on earlier this week, and I wondered if you find with the kind of fan letters and mail that you receive even now that you're getting a whole new generation of fans discovering you for the first time?
Well, what is marvelous, about television is that it keeps you alive, because I have a whole, as you say, new generation of children who see me on television, and had it not been for television, I'd have been long forgotten. And that, of course, is lovely.
One other question regarding your trip. When you were there, were the people who you were seeing, did they know who you were, or did they have any idea why you were there?
No, in the cities, where obviously there are some movie houses and people have perhaps traveled abroad, they were aware, but not where we went, no.
And one other thing, you are making a kind of plea to the public about what you learned, and I wonder if you are able to sum up in a kind of a nutshell what you would hope the public would do as a result of your trip and your pleas to them.
Well, I hope people will understand that once again there is a drought in Africa, in Ethiopia in particular, that is potentially much worse than the last time, and it's awfully hard to ask people to prevent a disaster rather than to help once it's happened, like the last time. UNICEF is everywhere helping them, and especially helping them to help themselves. And if I may really give it you in a nutshell, what UNICEF wants to do is to give them a spade to dig their water wells, but not to dig the graves of their children.
Ms. Hepburn, I thank you very much for this time, and good luck with your
Thank you
travels.
for giving me this opportunity.